down the ground. Navneet Dhaliwal picks up a boundary. Really have to make sure they bowl in the right areas here in Nepal. Not too many runs to play with. You don't want to be giving away boundaries.
Much better that time from Jat. Was an elegant stroke, wasn't it? Simple technique, Dhaliwal, but can often get that full face of the bat through nicely, particularly if it's full. And down the ground you get great reward here, right? 57, 58 metres down to that long on boundary at this end, the north end of the ground. Yeah, it is there. The Maple Leafers is what they're apparently known as. It's even on the Wikipedia page.
I could tell you no one within the cricketing community in Canada has ever been called a Maple Leafer or mentioned the word Maple Leafers.
Start bringing it in. Get the Maple Leaf team song going at the end of each win.
I think it's just a little too close to the Maple Leafs, the hockey team.
They're the Canucks.
Maple Leaf, huh?
I thought they were the Canucks. We discussed this the other day.
We've got the Canucks, and then we've also got the Maple Leafs. We've got the Canadians, Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, you mean the club team?
Yes.
Ah, come on now.
These are all the NHL
international teams.
No, the NHL hockey teams here. Vancouver Canucks.
Gets us to the end of the 13th. 44 for 1. Vancouver
Canucks.
Well, that's the actual NHL team name.
Yes. Wishing you all a happier home.
Dear child, happier home. छुट्टै छ है चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ज्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् यस्तै ससाना खुसी समेट्नको लागि हिमालयन ब्याङ्कले दिन्छ 1% थप ब्याज दर हिमालयन रेमिट बचत तथा मुद्दती खातामा हिमालयन ब्याङ्क.
Hockey quite large here in Canada. Ice hockey, that is.
National institution, isn't it? It's a national institution, really. Ice hockey. Okay, we're going to see some spin for the first time. Spin and wrist spin for the first time today. Because we haven't seen any wrist spin in either innings. So Sandeep Lamichhane will come into the attack full of confidence after a career best with the bat, 49. What impact can he have on this contest? It's a big cheer from the crowd. He's very much a bit of a fan favourite, isn't he? And he'll come on here in the second power play with protection available. 4 fielders allowed in the deep, and he's going to take all 4 of them. Long off and long on. And then deep mid-wicket and cover sweeper. So 2 on either side. Slip is in place, and Rohit Powdell, the captain, is pretty tight in there at extra cover. Yeah, he starts with one that's just skidded on. Probably going to miss the leg stump, it looks like. Lamichhane was convinced, and again we've got some histrionics. All a bit unnecessary, really. You're entitled to appeal, but no need for the carry-on. My initial thought was this is going to miss leg stump.
Oh, there's some discussion out there, and it's looking like they're all going to get into it. The skipper getting in the face of Pargat Singh as we take a look at this, and yeah, comfortably missing that leg stump. Not with my Canadian glasses this time.
Yeah, just gonna miss leg. It's an absolutely fine decision. I'm not sure what Pargat Singh is getting involved with. Asif Sheikh is now having to be held back.
Well, this is all quite disappointing to see. Not in the spirit of cricket whatsoever. A lot of words being exchanged out in the middle.
It's rare you see Asif Sheikh angry. I don't think of once before he's been dragged into something. Pargat Singh has clearly had a word, and all he's doing really is riding up the Nepal fans in the crowd. Yeah, he's a strongly willed character, isn't he, Pargat Singh? I think what Rohit Powdell was unhappy with was him carrying on to the umpire and the players in terms of him saying why he thought it wasn't out. It's the umpire's decision to give it out or not. A good start from Lamachani. There's a bit of bite out of the surface. He's pitched his first three pretty nicely.
Well, he had a really good innings with the bat today as well. A very important 49 added to the total from Sandeep Lamachani. Very fiery character. He enjoys his bowling. He enjoys his cricket. And he started well here. 4 dot balls on the trot.
A really good start. Lamachani's job, you might think, is to take wickets, but the way in which you get wickets is by building up pressure. There's a process, particularly in ODI cricket, to getting wickets. You saw Mitchell Stark do Harry Brook with the most wonderful series of set-up deliveries the other day. This one's come off the under edge. I don't think it's really a drop chance because it's come so quickly. It might have actually come off the boot of Arjun Sao, but that's an excellent start. It's a maiden for Sandeep Lamachani. The score is 44 for 1. Let's get one more look at this.
It's kept a little low as well. And then straight onto the leg of Saad.
बाटवानीको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल तपाईँको असली एनर्जी Red Bull असली नै रोजौ विदेशबाट ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई-सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका
Errant behaviour. Gulshan Jah comes in for his second. You can see him laying down the law again. Now he's involved once more. Something's on the pitch. All of a sudden, being a bit of spice added to this contest, isn't there?
It just goes to show how much this game means to all sides. Each and every game so important in League 2. All of these wins bringing you closer to those top 4 towards the end, making sure that you qualify.
It's a lovely cover drive, well wide of mid-off. The captain, Rohit Paolo, can only watch it go by him. Again, it's over-pitched. It's the only area where batters are seeming to score with any ease. 2 full from Jah, and Dhaliwal cashes in again.
Seen this too many times now, and no surprise that it's 4 more. Overpitched, and he does drive quite elegantly, Navneet Dhaliwal. Right through the covers. 4 runs picked up.
Another one, probably a bit over-pitched. Dhaliwal can't make any contact this time. Slip has had to come out because Jah's been a little bit errant.
Well, this is just a little over-pitched. Driving Dhaliwal forward, just getting it under that bat. Better length this time from Gulshan Jah. 2 dot balls. Just trying to create those chances here in Nepal. Try and pick up some wickets. Navneet Dhaliwal's look positive as well today. Better start from him. 33 off 50. Good strike rate to start. Pargat Singh as well on the other end. He's been put down. That's a chance that's gone down.
Well, Jah's worked so hard to create this opportunity, hasn't he? And he's got both hands to it, I think, ultimately, Arif Sheikh. But he's grasped it. Not an easy chance. You just wonder again, could there be a taller man in there? Would Anil Shah be better placed? If it's going to go to Gully, it usually flies to Gully. He probed away. It's a full one. Oh, you have to take that. He's got both hands to it. Juggled it, and down it goes. Navneet Dhaliwal, he has a life.
Well, that was quite wide, kept a little low as well, and just losing his balance, Navneet Dhaliwal, as he threw his bat at that. It's going to be the end of the 15th, 48 for 1. Wishing you all a happier home.
GSI, happier home. छुट्टै छ है चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ धारा साउजी विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
Drops Navneet Dhaliwal on 33. Hits at a catchable height, but wide of cover, and Anil Shah, he usually has the gloves on himself, he misfields, and it's going to be 4, and the 50 will come up in the 16th over.
Oh, they're really going to have to clean up the act here. It was a decent start so far from Nepal, and then the catch has gone down, and now it's a misfield. Slapped through the covers. And he's rolled completely over the ball, Anil Shah, picking up 4 runs.
Back live with Yane, tickled around the corner, going to take on a quick single. Jazz actually going to throw to the non-striker's end, and Anil Shah has to react quickly to save the overthrow. Just a single to the total. Yeah, Pargat Singh looks like he's up for the challenge against Lamachani. He wants to take him on. Short ball, and that's given the treatment. Dhaliwal picks up the length beautifully and smashes it all the way for 6.
It's Kalim Sana who is doing the cleanup outside the boundary, the Canadian camp. They look quite relaxed. 11 runs coming off this over so far. And a little too short. There is some spin, but with that length, just makes it easy work for Navneet Dhaliwal, smashing another maximum.
You see, the problem for me here with this maximum, look at the line. So he's dragged it down, yes, of course he has, but he's trying to deliver that to pitch on leg stump and turn away and bowl a miracle ball. Just a completely fundamentally the wrong line. You have to just plug away at the basics. Got to be bowling a 4th, if not a 5th stump line outside the off stump. That brings your googly into play. That frustrates the batter. It restricts him from being able to score on the leg side. Looks for the googly, the top spinner this time. Then even if you drag it down out there, it's probably going to be cut away for 1. Instead, it's actually the line, not the length, that's caused the issue. It's too ambitious a line. Cannot go hunting for wickets, otherwise you'll concede runs like Lamachani has done in this second over. Again, not the right line for me. Too easy. There'll be a couple more to the total. It's a very expensive over. 15 have come off it. And that has got Canada well into cruise control, having been in some really difficult periods.
Well, they've done well in terms of riding the difficult.
धारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं सानो सानो बचतले नै कुरा गरिरहेका हुन्छन् यी सबै आवश्यकता त्यसैले सानो होस् वा ठुलो हिमालयन ब्याङ्कमा गरेको बचतले नै कुरा गर्नेछ तपाईँको हरेक आवश्यकता हिमालयन ब्याङ्क
It's going to be one more before the drinks break, and it's edged through the vacant.
Daraz presents 11-11.
कमर कर दी अब तो नया मैट्रेस ले लेते हैं
महंगाई देखिए दराज ऐप मोबाइल में नहीं होगा तो महंगाई का भूत ऐसे ही सर पे चढ़ के नाचेगा
तो डाउनलोड करें दराज ऐप
एंड एंजॉय 1 अरब डिस्काउंट्स
मेगा डील्स
फ्री शिपिंग ब्रांड बचत वाउचर्स
11 से 21 नवंबर तक दराज 11-11
महंगाई का दौर ऑन पाकिस्तान बिगेस्ट सेल
Saw 15-20 times in the 56 balls he's been out there, but as he did in the first game between these two sides, he's getting good reward for just occupying the crease. Can't score runs back in the pavilion. They've ridden the storm here, Canada. Have Nepal got any further answers, any further weaponry to turn this game around?
Who would you turn to at this point?
I don't mind the option of the two that are bowling right now. I think that's fine. It's just a continued case of having to apply pressure to build up wickets. Almost all the wickets we've seen have been earned, haven't they? Earned by a sequence of dots. Look at that. It's not easy. This pitch is not easy. And Bhargat Singh doesn't like this at all. Smashes into the glove. I think for a guy who's taken a 5-wicket haul to not have a slip in place when he's passing the outside edge regularly, don't think that's aggressive enough captaincy to defend 180.
Yeah, gotta be attacking. Have to be attacking. And this is a second delivery now that we've seen kick off a length. The first one hitting the gloves of Navni Dhaliwal, and this one hitting Bhargat Singh.
Now a pull shot. Not sure that's the best option for Bhargat Singh. He's bowling to a 6-3 field here, so there's a gully, a backward point, deep third, deep cover, extra and mid-off in place. Just wonder, could that actually be a field that's a bit more in out and have a slip and a gully in it? Still keep your sweeper out in the offside, but just gamble a bit. Maybe don't have the deep third in. Either way, Nepal need wickets to win this game. If not, Canada will cruise home. Another really good over. Easily could have been the second wicket in it. It will get us to the end of the first session. Time for a drink and time for a break here too. As the clouds continue to come over and just make it a little bit chillier than it has been. Canada, well, they're well on top, but Nepal are scrapping hard. It's 68 for 1 in the chase.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छट्टै छ है चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिले नगद छोडौ फोन पे गरौ DHI Home Appliances presents Nepal Ko Vishwa Cup Yatra, powered by Panchakanya Steel and Asian Paints Smart Care Dam Pro. Matra Kantipur Max र हाम्रा डिजिटल प्लेटफर्महरुमा. An AD Release Initiative. Title Sponsor.
DHI Happier Home. छुट्टै छ है.
Powered by Prime Billet बाट बनेको हरेक निर्माण मेरुदण्ड. Panchakanya Steel.
मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् इन एसोसिएसन विथ Energized by
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं
co-sponsored by पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौँ
ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मेरो पहिलो रोजाई
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु हिमालयन बैंक माउन्टेन ड्यू दौडको अगाडि जित छ यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home छुट्टै छ है प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् Indulge in festive delight. Celebrate with Dark Fantasy. Now at special prices.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं
पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडौ फोन पे गरौँ
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु सानो सानो बचतले नै पूरा गरिरहेका हुन्छन् यी सबै आवश्यकताहरू त्यसैले सानो होस् वा ठुलो हिमालयन ब्याङ्कमा गरेको बचतले नै पूरा गर्नेछ तपाईँको हरेक आवश्यकता हिमालयन ब्याङ्क
Nepal desperately hunt for wickets. Navneet Dhaliwal has done a really good job. Moved to 45 from 57 now. Pargat Singh just hasn't managed to get much of the strike. Now an appeal. I think there's bats involved, and Madella is unmoved and says, calm, everyone calm, not out is my decision.
Well, the appealing was definitely very convincing. Arnold Madella says not out.
Yeah, inside edge. Really good decision. It was pad first, might have been interesting, might have been very interesting actually, but I have to say, Arnold Madella was having a super debut ODI series. Been given plenty of difficult decisions, and from my eyes, got every single one of them right. Another one in his favour there. Sense Lamachani's desperate to impact this game though. Brilliant diving stop ball. Dipender Singh Arey at his best. On as a sub-fielder again. I'm not sure anyone else in the world gets to that. Flung himself to his right, dived through the air, definite run saved.
He was just so exceptional in the field. Absolute live wire. Just so athletic. Decent over so far from Sandeep Lamichhane. He went for a few runs in his previous over and better come back.
Well, it's a maiden. He's bowled two maidens, interspersed by an over that's gone for 15. The sublime and the ridiculous thus far from Sandeep Lamichhane. 18 have been bowled. It's 68 for 1.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं विदेशबाट ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई-सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका। साथी हो, गर्नु भने जिन्दगी भर रिग्रेट गर्नेछु। माउन्टेन ड्यू, डरको अगाडि जित छ।
Don't mind this move from Nepal. Just looking for a bit of control here. The game plan will be very much to try and keep things tight. Build up some pressure with some dots. Again, it's a 6-3 field, so he's going to have to be quite rigid with his line. Make sure he's well outside the off stump. Not too sure of the gully fielding position. That's not the line you want to bowl. Pumped away immediately for 4. Dragged down by Pargat Singh in immediate pressure onto Arif Sheikh.
Well, the boundaries are just coming in too easily here for Canada. Short just sat up quite nicely for Pargat Singh. He's able to pull that quite comfortably in the end, and the runs free-flowing at this point for Canada.
The gully fielding position at Arif Sheikh's pace, I don't know how the ball gets there. It would have to be a really expansive drive that then flies all the way to gully. Slightly strange fielding position with deep third behind it, almost rather a close catching cover. A bit of movement off the surface, good glove work from Arjun Saud. That darted away.
Seagulls are having a bit of a picnic. It's a buffet.
In the air, but just short of Rohit Powell. You can see Singh is wanting to hit it to the leg side. And he knows there's only 3 fielders over there, so Arif Sheikh is going to have to be really disciplined with his length. Why are there seagulls here? Manali, we're miles away from any water, aren't we?
I don't think we're miles away from water anywhere in Canada. Geologically, the way the country is shaped, we've had a lot of glaciers in the past, and you'll find little lakes all over the country. We've got by far the most fresh water of any country in the world here in Canada. Yes, you can fact check that if you want, but you'll find little lakes everywhere.
Nearest lake is Lake Simcoe. It's miles away.
Dot ball to end the 19th, 73 for 1 after 19. That's a lot. Wishing you all a happier home.
Theatre, happier home. छुट्टै छ है। चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्। मोबाइलमा चल्छ सेवा। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह। सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
You gotta zoom in some more on Google Maps. You'll find some bodies of water everywhere. They don't have to be the big lakes.
And then 40 minutes north is Lake Simcoe. So what are all these seagulls doing there?
Because I'm sure there's smaller bodies of water there.
I don't see any.
You gotta zoom in. Oh, look at that. I see a blue spot right there.
Well, Johnny just asking mid-off to come, long off to come a little straighter. And he'll say right in front of us. Googly tossed up just a little bit too full. He's hunting for wickets here, isn't he? Need a moment of magic from their prime wicket taker. He was the second leading wicket taker in the whole competition in the first edition. Manipal Khan took more than him.
They really need wickets here, Nepal. Unfortunate to have had that one catch go down, and it was Navneet Dhaliwal.
Again, a little bit too straight. Massive appeal from Lamachani, but that's going to miss leg. Another good decision. Not quite sure the histrionics are necessary or required. All the umpiring decisions have been spot on the money. My first indication is this is going to miss leg. Look at where the ball's gone as well after it's impacted the pad. It's just one of those ones that skids on a bit. Where's it pitched? No, missing leg stump.
Well outside that leg stump line. You definitely don't enjoy the animated appeals, do you?
I have absolutely no problem with an animated appeal if you get on with the game straight away after. Don't need the standing there. Edged and dropped. And it's another one gone down. And it's Arif Sheikh again. It's gone straight through his hands. I'm not sure he's even got a hand on it.
Well,
for the second time, Dhaliwal is alive.
When things are not going your way, they are really not going your way. He's going to come in and have a ball here, Arif Sheikh, but the ball seems to be following him. This one edged, just going away. And through the legs. Hands nowhere close to that ball. Another chance goes down missing. 20 gone, 75 for 1.
भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
No compromise with Nada Saudi.
Well, Nepal are somehow still in this contest, but it's very heavily favouring Canada. Pitch is still doing plenty, and there's all sorts going on out there, but they have to hold their catches. It's Arif Sheikh the guilty party twice now. Really good diving stop by Irie at backward point, but it just squirts out of his hands, so they do get through for the single. The first catch was, for me, a regulation one at gully. Kind of seemed to jump and not get a stable base, and then the second one is just a complete misjudgment, isn't it? It's a genuine outside edge. It's at a nice catchable height. I think a good slip fielder is going to take that 9 times out of 10. Instead, he's barely got anything on it. This one's cut away imperiously. 4 more to the total. That's going to add insult to injury.
Oh, again, the length and the line. A little poor from Arif Sheikh. Short, wide. And just opens that face while angling it in front of the fielder. Picks up 4 more here. Pargat Singh. Navneet Dhaliwal on the other end is 3 away from his half century. So good partnership this.
Width on offer and cut away for 4 more. Not close enough to defender Singari to get involved, and you just cannot bowl that width at this pace that Arif Sheikh is serving up. Things just starting to go really downhill for Nepal. Pargat Singh cashes in, good stroke for 4.
2 boundaries to 2 poor deliveries. And Arif Sheikh is having a forgettable day here today. First the run out, then a drop catch and another, and now boundaries coming quite easily.
Good batting, really good batting. They take on Irie, and even with the direct hit, I think they would have got home because it was placed a long way in that gap in between backward point and cover. It's a 10-run over, and Nepal are going to have to go back to the drawing board. You suspect that'll be the last we'll see of Arif Sheikh. It's 85 for 1.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ज्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
मोबाइलमा चल्छ यी सेवा and hammered away by Navneet Dhaliwal. He's going to get to 50. In fact, that's not 50, it's Pargat Singh on strike, so not 50 yet. Pargat Singh gets into the 40s. A few of the bench were confused as well. They were clapping like it was 50. Lovely stroke by Pargat Singh.
A straight, 2 straight. We've said to try and change that line a little bit inside out.
That's an even better shot. 4 and now 6. He loves going inside out, and Pargat Singh may well beat Dhaliwal to the 50 marker. Well, the wheels are off the track here for Nepal now, and Canada cruising through the gears.
Well, this was overpitched, and very similar shot inside out, and he does favor that offside region, Pargat Singh. He's just 4 away from his half century now.
A bit too easy now, isn't it, for Canada? Mamachani guilty of hunting for wickets, going very, very full. Just being picked off. And Nepal don't really seem to have an answer now. Didn't think 180 was going to be anything like enough. They bowled well for the first, 12 overs. Probably a bit unlucky, weren't they, past the outside edge an awful lot. But a couple of drop chances alongside that then. Well, they've just stifled the life out of Nepal, and this game, all of a sudden, is only heading in one direction. Diving stop. Irie continues to be on the field. It's Robert Powell actually does the fielding down there. It's a 12-run over. Canada 97 for 1.
सानो बचतले नै कुरा गरिरहेका हुन्छन् यी सबै आवश्यकताहरू त्यसैले सानो होस् वा ठुलो हिमालयन ब्याङ्कमा गरेको बचतले नै कुरा गर्नेछ तपाईँको हरेक आवश्यकता हिमालयन ब्याङ्क
Today. And positive signs if you're the Canadians. Navneet Dhaliwal has really found his stride today, going at a good strike rate. He's been very purposeful from the time that he's walked out to the middle. They really have made it look easy after the first 12 or so overs in this Nepali innings.
Sampal Kami comes back into the attack, replacing Arif Sheikh. Nepal all of a sudden look a bit bereft of answers, don't they? Not quite sure why Gulshan Jha was taken out of the attack. Thought he bowled nicely. While Rajbanchi's warming up down at deep third, he might replace Sandeep Lamachani, but 84 more required, and the acceleration that's being provided with some aggressive strokes, some calculated aggression, and Singh scoring nearly a run a ball. Now it's driving Canada home in a big way.
Pargat Singh off of 51 deliveries. He could bring up that half century with one shot. His partner on the other end, Avni Dhaliwal, on 49. And it's pin drop silence in the stands. The Nepal fans have not had much to celebrate after the wicket of Aaron Johnson.
Round the wicket now. You have to say this can't be plan A. It just cannot be plan A. Going back to the second spell of Sampal Kami, coming right on around the wicket, no slip in place, no gully in place, and only 3 fielders on the leg side. Just not quite sure what the thought process is here. We saw him do this a little bit in the reverse fixture, I think, but didn't understand it then. Don't quite understand it now either. It's going to be too short and given us a wide. Kami not best pleased with that. There's actually 4 fielders on the leg side. There's a man in deep backward square as well.
Well, he's putting his back into it. Unfortunately, just a little too high. Well over the head of Pargat Singh. An extra run. Quick single, and that's going to be 100 up for Canada. 100 for 1 in the 23rd over. He's going to come back over the wicket now, Sampal Kami.
No ball. Well, it's going from bad to worse here for Nepal. Kami's overstepped, and Dhaliwal will have the most golden chance to get to 50 for just the second time in ODI cricket. There's another no ball. Well, what is going on out here for Nepal? The crowd, the fans who've travelled in such good numbers from all over Ontario to support them, they've been silenced. Back-to-back no balls from someone as experienced as Sampal Kami. And it's going to be another free hit to follow.
Still 1 run away from his half century, Avni Dhaliwal. And the extras have come in this over. 3 extras in total, 1 wide and 2 no balls.
I think it's the slower ball. Wait for the signal. Not going to be 50 yet because it will be a bye to round out a strange over from Sampal Kami. It has come back. 123 have been bowled. It's 100. In fact, there's still a ball to go. We don't think there is. We think that's the over. With the bye. Not exactly sure. This could be a 7-ball over here. Hooked away towards Lamachani, who will field on 1 bounce. Both batters now on 49. We'll check if that was a 7-ball over. May well have been. 23 have been bowled, and the score has advanced to 104.
Wishing you all a happier home.
happier home छुट्टै छ है
पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडौ फोन पे गरौ चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका
Does this game have a twist yet to come? Lenny is reassuring me that there will be, because it is Nepal out there.
It usually is, but they just haven't helped themselves, have they? We said they were the architects of their own downfall in the first innings. Rajbanshi into the attack now. There's turn on offer, there's still a bit of variety to the pitch. They've just got a bit seduced, haven't they, by chasing the wickets. Well, Karen Casey bowled beautifully up at the top. Gulshan Jha had a couple of moments where he caused real concern. But outside of that, they've just gone hunting for wickets. It's the same mistakes they've made in the first two games. Now they are looking for a bit of control from Lalit Rajbanshi. Both batters probably aware that they're on 49. The scoreboard in the ground indicates that too. Gone very dark and gloomy all of a sudden, isn't it? Approaching 5 p.m. local time here. Not sure where bowling like this has been. Just it was a manic 20-30 minute period there where Nepal have really lost their way, and these two experienced batters have cashed in. Much better from Nepal, driven by Lalit Rajbanshi. Maiden over, 24 bowled, 104 for 1.
Well, they're going to have to wait a little bit longer, both batters, to get to that half century. Very good.
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
अब उत्सव हुन्छ अझै बढी रमाइलो किन्नुहोस् 400 ml मात्र रु 50 मा
Nepal are desperately in need of somebody bringing this contest to life. Can it be Sampal Kami, 28-year-old? That's going to be 50 for Navneet Dhaliwal. It's come from 76 deliveries. He's been around a long time as the 35-year-old, but it's just his second ODI 50 in his 10th innings. He's played nicely and he lifts the bat to acknowledge the applause of the home crowd.
Well, you'll be happy to reach this half century here, 50 off 76, and it's really been a good innings from him today. Was given a couple of chances, but he's made the most of it. Much more positive with his batting approach today, better intent, better positivity, just a good brand of cricket from the time that he walked out.
Another one beats the outside edge, even as late as the 25th over. There's still something in the surface, isn't there? They've been two sort of contrasting innings, haven't they? Pargat Singh's been quite aggressive. Scored quite quickly. Taliwal at first was very slow before catching up. Nepal's fielders trying to stay positive, but it's almost like the life has been sucked out of them and indeed the fans. Amazing things still happening, even as late as the 24th, 25th. This is going to hurt. Might have been the elbow, something like that. Pargat Singh takes a blow.
I think it's gone right into the gut of Pargat Singh as he says he's okay. He's really had a bit of a hard time just nipping back in. There is a bit of pace from Sampal coming straight into the gut. In the first innings, he had a bit of whiplash from a fielding effort, so putting his body behind it.
Another one that beats the outside edge. Pargat Singh almost just guilty of doing what Lamachani did earlier, just wants to get one to get to 50, doesn't he?
And it can be so tempting knowing that you're away from that milestone. He's just got to continue playing the way he has. Keep playing his brand of cricket. You always want to make sure that you get to that milestone. Not very often that you get chances like that.
That will be the landmark. 50 brought up with real conviction. A cut shot. Yes, it's in the air, but it's 4 more to the total. And Canada cruising home thanks to 50s from these two right-handers. For Pargat Singh, it's already the 6th 50-plus score in his ODI career. In just his 17th innings, he's now averaging over 40. And it's been another fine knock from the right-hander.
53 off 65 deliveries. He could have gotten there sooner. Just some decent bowling in the last couple of overs, making him toil around for a little bit, but it's really been a powerful innings. Struck some lusty blows around the ground, really favored the offside. And now 2 set batters for Canada, both crossing that milestone.
Well, imperious stuff here from Canada. They are simply proving too good, too hot to handle right now for their opposition. Really comfortable victors by 103 runs over Nepal in the first game, 59 runs in the second match. And now they're looking like they're going to hunt down this target of 182 with real ease. Nepal haven't helped themselves. They've not been at their best. They've dropped a couple of catches. Rather strangely decided to have a bat first when everyone else has wanted to bowl in helpful bowling conditions. So take on the single. Pedal does the fielding at backward point. Taliwal would have got home. But right now, this week couldn't be going any better for Canada.
Well, they're certainly in the driving seat. Just 1 wicket down, 2 set batters. Both just passing their half centuries. "72 more runs needed off 147 deliveries." The deliveries were never going to be an issue.
took it over from Rajbanshi. A little bit too little too late for Nepal, though. Tight overs aren't any good at the moment. They need wickets. 26 bowled, 110 for 1.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौँ
यस्तै ससाना खुसी समेट्नको लागि हिमालयन ब्याङ्कले दिन्छ 1% थप ब्याज दर हिमाल क्रेडिट बचत तथा मुद्दती खातामा हिमालयन ब्याङ्क.
Rapidly from the blue worm of Nepal. Didn't think 181 would be enough. Lamachani and KC managed to threaten a target of about 220 if they could have batted it out, but 2 wickets and 4 balls right at the end in the third power play. Bowled Nepal all out, well short of their allocation of overs. Shouldn't really have been number 7, 8, 9 and 10 in the order's job to score the runs, but only 2 of the top 6 made double figures, and both of those only made 10. As KC is going to come back into the attack for his second spell. How much of this is down to some misguided tactics and not exactly knowing their game plans, and then how much of it's down to poor implementation? Is it a combination of both here, Manali, for Nepal?
We always knew that they were going to be tested here. In fact, every side that's a visitor at King City is going to be tested. What hasn't gone Nepal's way is form, yes. The batting lineup has struggled, especially the top order. The opening pair really haven't had a solid start in quite some time. But you've mentioned this a few times. There's a lot of experience in that coaching staff. So to say that they wouldn't have planned for it correctly, I would want to say that they do know the conditions. They would be familiar with them. They've had Pupu Dasanaike with them 2 years ago when they were here for a couple of friendly games. So I'm sure they've had insight into what conditions would be like here. But at the end of the day, you can plan all you want and you can analyze all you want. If you can't execute on the day that it matters, it's really all for nothing.
The problem for Nepal from here is that Taliban and Singh can just knock it around. There's no pressure of any kind. KC's bowling his heart out. He needs some nice areas, causing problems still. But when you're defending a low total, almost everything needs to go right. 2 drop catches hasn't helped things. Just been a lack of consistency from most of the bowlers, probably KC and Rajbanshi excluded in terms of their accuracy, for pressure to be built up. And as a consequence, Canada, well, they've pounced. They've been pretty ruthless on the bad deliveries. They've found lots of boundaries. You only need 3.5 and over, no matter how difficult the pitch is. If you build a partnership like these two have built, you're going to chase it down comfortably. 106 is partnership worth now between these two. Highest partnership in the first innings, just 55. 3 come from KC's come back over. 113 for 1.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
जुत्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् मेरो मोबाइलमा चल्छ यो सेवा
साथी हो गन्ध भने जिन्दगी बर्बाद गर्नेछु Mountain Dew डरको अगाडि जित्छ
On after toughing it out. Gifted a couple of chances as well, being dropped twice, Navneet Dhaliwal.
Yeah, this one looks close, but was there some bat involved, possibly? Could be the angle going down too. Let's get another look. Maybe just pitching outside leg height could have been an issue as well. Amazing what a bit of pressure does though. Just a few dot balls from Rajbanshi and Dhaliwal has to do something different. Haven't collectively bowled well enough at any stage of the 3 games, Nepal, in really helpful conditions. Monty Desai is going to be disappointed with that. I think a bit of reflection needs to be done amongst the bowling group. That's an effortless stroke just to skip down the track and pressure built up. Had to release it and he releases it with the boundary 4.
Well, the Tuckers are in the VIP section here to see Canada in all their glory as we see some excellent use of the feet from Navneet Dhaliwal. Going up and over that inside. Outshot again, going over the inner field and picking up 4 runs. That's Harsh Tucker's sister and brother-in-law walking towards the back of the VIP tent, and I believe their mum is sitting in front in a white dress today.
Good batting, good positive use of the feet from Dhaliwal. Didn't see much of that today, did we, from Nepal? They didn't tend to leave the crease at all. Just Lamachani maybe to the quicks, but not to the spinners.
Sandeep Lamachani really did start in a very energetic fashion. He did use his feet, and used his crease to his advantage.
Now a slog sweep, man, out there, just going to fall short of him. Asif Sheikh was interested for a beat, wasn't he? As Singh will get a little lucky. 6 runs come from Rajbanshi's 5th, and it's 119 for 1.
विलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल Something stop fantasy. तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नेरोजम विदेशबाट ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई-सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा नजिकको मौका
And if the weather plays out the way it is predicted to be, then that might actually end up being a washout game. Expected to rain here in 2 days' time. As we officially get into some of that fall weather that we see so typically at this time of year. Rain, cold and windy.
Tim Sharkey in a gully. Arif Sheikh has been dumped out of there. Moved to backward point. Pulls off a diving stop. And Nepal are just going nowhere at the moment. Desperately in need of wickets that don't seem to be coming.
Bringing in some pace, Karen Casey. 1 for 24, his figures so far. And into his 8th over. Started very well with the ball today, both he and Sampal Kami. Rajbanshi picking up the lone wicket of this Canadian side, and Aaron Johnson. Oh, and this has bounced just short. Looking to guide that. Nice and fine. Despite the half chances, though, they've just not been able to pick up more wickets here in Nepal. We've discussed the ranking and the structure of the Cricket World Cup League 2. And of course, Canada have got a big home ground advantage in this leg of the league. They will be tested as well when they're on tour. Some of the other countries, Netherlands, a very good example of that. They really struggled in the Netherlands, turning things around on home soil here, but again on the road, I believe in February or March of next year. And that's just kicked up. Good carry to the keeper.
I'm not sure where Nepal are going to turn to after this. It's going to be a third defeat in 3 games, barring something miraculous here. You've got a lot of questions to answer. Strategically, it feels as though they're being outthought. I'm not sure they've got their team selections right. I'm not sure they've got their batting order right. I'm not even necessarily sure they've got their bowling options right at many points of this tour thus far. Umpire very nearly clotheslines Karen Casey. Somebody wasn't ready. They're a better side than what we've seen here so far in King City. It's going to be desperately important that they win the game in 2 days' time against Oman. But there's a restlessness amongst their fans. You can sense it here at the ground. There's just been real disappointment, isn't there? This goes a long way up into the air. Very unorthodox again, as we've seen Pargat Singh on that hook shot a few times. Gets a little lucky to pick up a couple of runs. It'll be the only 2 from the over. It's 1-2-1 for 1.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्। पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ। ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो। पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडौ फोन पे गरौ।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Oftentimes we do see a few twists and turns, especially in 50-over cricket. We haven't seen one yet. It's been fairly one-sided. Canada well on top of the contest. But cricket is a funny game, and you just never know when you get a bit of a twist. Sandeep Lamichhane comes back into the attack.
Well, maybe a last roll of the dice from Rohit Patel. That's a beautiful leg break. Look what happens when you pitch it about a 4th stump line. You just need to plug away there. You don't need to do anything else. Maybe too little too late for today. Build up some pressure. 2 straight, you get picked off for a single. Googly picked off again. Quite often these tours in difficult conditions, alien conditions, long way from home, of course, Nepal. Mix up. Pargat Singh sent back but turns quickly. It was okay. But yeah, tours like this, when you get on a losing streak, they can turn into tours to forget very quickly. Canada just had one in the Netherlands. They lost 7 of 8 games. Even the game they won was, well, pretty miraculous, from 36 for 5 in the T20s. For Nepal, they're in danger of that happening to them here.
And losing can really become a habit. You need to try and kick out of it pretty quickly. That mindset really starts to settle in the more you lose. So Nepal will want to try and turn things around quickly, as that's going to be the end of the 30th, 123 for 1.
भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोल्छ नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ धारा साउजी विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
And Canada have taken Papua New Guinea's place. So the top 4 sides will advance automatically to the Cricket World Cup qualifier. That will be hosted in 2027, ahead of the World Cup that will be held right towards the end of the year in South Africa, Namibia and Zimbabwe. And the top 4 teams will go automatically to the qualifier alongside the bottom 2 ranked full members that don't qualify for the World Cup automatically, the 2 co-hosts, Zimbabwe and South Africa. This is hit on the up over the offside. Not quite going to have the pair to get to the rope, will be a couple. So yeah, South Africa and Zimbabwe will qualify automatically, and then the next top 8 in the rankings will make the 10 automatic spots up. Then there's 4 more to play for. Those 4 will be decided at the qualifier, and the 10 teams that will make up the qualifier are the 2 lowest ranked full members. Right now it's Ireland or the West Indies who would take those 2 spots, alongside the top 4 from this league. So if it is as it stands right now, it'll be Scotland, the Netherlands, Canada and USA. And then the bottom 4 still have a chance to get to the qualifier. They'll go and play 8 for 4 spots. That's hit a long way in front to square. Banged into the surface, but banged to the boundary by Pargat Singh.
A good control this time from Pargat Singh as he picks up 4 more. He really has looked good for his 64. A bit too short, going for the bouncer, but he was up for the challenge, Pargat Singh. Again, favoring that offside, going over the inner circle.
And a wicket from nowhere. Gulshan Jha has got some reward, and it's the man I thought it should have been at gully in the first place. Anil Shah will take the catch, and Nepal finally have a little ember of joy and hope. Singh is dismissed for 64. It'll probably be too little too late, but maybe just the start of a twist and a turn for Nepal.
Well, this wicket has literally come out of nowhere. Pargat Singh, who has just struck a beautiful boundary, has now given a very easy of a catch, just straight to Anil Shah at gully. off dismissal. Nepal, they get their second wicket here. 129 for 2 after 30.3. It's going to be hard.
यसबाट ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई-सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका। तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौँ।
Sacker in good form comes to the crease. Just 53 more required. Plenty of time to do it as well. Good catch held by Anil Sat. And Jad deserved that wicket, didn't he? Bowled a probing first 3 overs. I thought it was a surprise he was taken out. Arif Sheikh was brought in to replace Jad after the drinks break. And he would have had to freshen up from the drinks break as well. Now a slip comes into place. Chipped just out to the reaches of Anil Sat. Oh, I'm not sure if backward point should have been up in the circle. Why oh why would you have a sweeper back for the very first delivery? Backward point was up. I think that would have been straight into his hands. Again, Nepal just guilty of being very defensive.
Well, not the most convincing way to get off the mark, but he is, Harsh Thakur. He's in good form as well. 93 of 103 deliveries for him against Oman 2 days ago.
Gonna run a quick single here. Now, is this a chance? Oh, direct hit might make it interesting, but it also may end up costing 4 runs because he's got home safely, and it's going to be 5 to the total. Nothing is going Arif Sheikh's way today. He does implement the direct hit, but Dhaliwal had got home safely, and the end result is going to be 5 to the total.
Well, the single was on. Direct hit, not something that you want to discourage your players from taking the chances on. If you think there's a chance, you want to shy at those stumps. Good accuracy. Unfortunately, just hard to back that up over there. Extra runs.
Now in this field, a backward point is belatedly Sheikh comes up into the ring. Plenty of small things Nepal not really getting right. Well, what an over that is. Runs off every delivery, and the wicket too. 31 bowled, 136 for 2. So, just complete that explanation of the ramifications of your finishing positions. The top 4 will go through to that qualifier automatically, joining the bottom 2 full members. That makes 6 of the 10 teams that'll fight it out for 4 spots. And then the bottom 4 in Cricket World Cup League 2, currently that's Namibia, Oman, Nepal and the UAE. They will go...
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स जैम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुस्
Try the last 4 places and also decide whether or not the sides that finish 7th and 8th in this league hold on to their ODI status. They're the 2 that will come under the threat of the sides from the Challenge League, so it's kind of a multifaceted tournament. It's not just to work out the last spots in the qualifier. This one's edged away for what going to be at least a single. It'll just be the one. It's Jaffield's well. So it's not just the factor of whether or not you get to the qualifier, it's whether or not you can hold on to your ODI status and your place in Cricket World Cup League 2 for the 3rd edition. So all that that means really is that every game matters a huge amount in this league. You cannot afford to get off to a poor start as Nepal have done. They're looking like they're going to have 2 points from their first 7 games.
It's going to be tough catching up towards the end of the whole setup. I'm going to try and stay in check with those wins. Which is something that the top 4 sides have done fairly well. Netherlands, Canada, USA and Scotland. There's a lot of action to come in this tri-series though. We've got 2 more ODIs to come after this, followed by 6 T20s. It's a lot more action.
Two runs from Lamachani's 7th over. It's 138 for 2. If you're wondering about the Challenge Leagues, the sides ranked 21st to 32nd in the world. They're initially divvied out from the
Asli Energy, Red Bull, Asli Nerozo.
अब उत्सव हुन्छ अझै बढी रमाइलो किन्नुहोस् 400 ml मात्र रु 50 मा यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Pools, League A and League B. Kenya will host the first of 3 round robins. Denmark, Jersey, Kenya, Kuwait, Papua New Guinea and Qatar. And then in League B it's Bahrain, Hong Kong, Italy, Singapore, Tanzania and Uganda. That's it. Cut away towards Rajpanchi, who fields nicely down at deep third. Jazz really cutting the ball into the pitch here. And for sides to come up into that 50-over structure, the only way they can do it is by getting their T20I ranking good enough to get into the Challenge League playoff, which was an event held back in February, March this year for the first time, because previously it was just the World Cricket League structures that decided the sides in the Challenge League. But then 8 teams went to Malaysia with the hope of either getting into the Challenge League. There was 4 teams challenging to get up into it, and the bottom 2 in each division were trying to hold on to their status, and only Italy actually held on to their status. The other 3 sides, Vanuatu, Malaysia and Bermuda, all lost their 50-over status, and that also loses funding. So there are very few matches at the associate level that don't count for much. They all have a huge amount of context on them. It means that overall 36 teams came into the pathway to try and qualify for the 50-over World Cup in 2027. 4 of those have already been knocked out, the 4 that didn't make the Challenge League. And now it's down to 32, battling out down to 14 over the course of the next 2.5 years or so, before the premier 50-over competition in the world will be returning to Africa for the first time since 2003. And the hosts will be hoping for better fortune than they had back then. Canada's place in that ladder, they're really happy to have ODI status back, I presume, Manali. A massive boost for the governing body, additional funding coming into the sport.
Yeah, massive, absolutely massive. We were all quite thrilled here in Canada to regain that ODI status, and then right after that, playing our first ever T20 World Cup. So a lot of positives have come in recent times here in Canadian cricket. It really makes a big difference to have the ODI status. Steady cricket available.
Driven away, protection out there, so it'll just be a single. And very gloomy again, isn't it? Really dark, and do you worry about the games on Tuesday and Thursday, where they had to go a full 100 over distance and get up towards that 7 o'clock marker? It'll be very dark indeed. Problem is, it's a double-edged sword because you can't really start any earlier because of the dew. So they have to move the start times to 11 a.m. from the originally scheduled 10 a.m.
We were having that discussion earlier today. A local league has now switched their start times for the 50-over games to 10:30 in the morning. Because it does start to get quite dark as the days pass along here. It gets earlier and earlier. We still have 2 more ODIs to come this week. The T20 should not be an issue. They start about midday and should be completed well before the light becomes an issue. But the 2 ODIs might be a bit problematic. We haven't seen a super over yet, but if there were ever to be a game going down to the wire, it might be tough to get one in. 33 overs gone, Canada 140 for 2. Wishing you all a happier home.
Dear child, happier home. छुट्टै छ है
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्
त्यस्तै ससाना खुसी समेट्नको लागि
Drinks break of today's contest. Canada on the brink. They need 42 more to win. They'll have 17 overs to do it. It's 140 for 2. So welcome back after the second drinks break. Just one session of play remains. It should be a comfortable cruise home you'd expect for Canada, the home side, who are looking to make it 3 matches and 3 wins and pick up another critical 2 points on this ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 table. It's been a strange performance from Nepal. It has not been their best. They won a critical toss. We all arrived at the ground this morning thinking the toss would have a massive factor. And you would have thought that anyone who won the toss would have wanted to have a bowl first, but Nepal thought otherwise and Road Pedal chose to have a bat. They got off to a very testing start. They lost wickets in the power play. And then, despite a nice rear guard led by the man on your screen, Sandeep Lamachani, who scored a career best 49 runs for Gulshan Jan, Karen KC and Sampal Kami, all at 7, 8, 9 and 10 in the order. Doesn't really feel like 181 is anything like enough on a surface where we've seen 220, 240, maybe 250 be par. Has been tricky in the chase for Canada at points, but Nepal have dropped 2 catches and never really looked like restricting the hosts, who have done the basics well. Lamachani's interested in another LBW appeal, but again might have been bat involved, and indeed given as runs. Andrew Leonard here alongside Manali Patel. Manali, Canada, on the cusp of a 3rd consecutive win.
Another big shout from Sandeep Lamachani. And it looks like it's just come off the edge of the bat. And yes, Canada in the driving seat today.
Kick of the turf of frustration from Lamachani. You can understand why. It was a lovely delivery, but edged away for a couple more. Pedal does the fielding. 147 for 2.
It's a bit of a peculiar start, wasn't it, today? Canada, of course, would have wanted to win the toss, and had they won the toss, they would have chosen to have a bowl. In the end, it was Nepal who won the toss and did exactly what you would not expect on this ground. And that automatically a win to start off for Canada. It was always going to be tough going, and they dominated with the ball. And then they've come in and they've dominated with the bat. And apart from that first wicket of Aaron Johnson, it's really not gone Nepal's way. 2 half-centuries in Pargat Singh and in Navneet Dhaliwal. Harsh Tucker, who's also in good form, now out in the middle. And that target of 182 not far away now for Canada.
We had a rocking atmosphere, didn't we, for the first maybe 13 or 14 overs of the chase, as Nepal were causing all sorts of problems. Quite been a consistent theme throughout all 4 games. The first 14, 15 overs, they utterly belonged to the bowlers. And then the firmness goes out of the ball and it just becomes a bit easier, a bit more placid, and batters start to find a way to score runs. Nepal didn't approach that first 14 overs in the first innings with enough toughness or a methodology to get through the early new ball burst from Kalim Sana in particular, who was outstanding. And they've been on the back foot ever since. And it's left Canada in this dominant position where, with just 37 needed to win, they're surely going to cruise home. Good diving stop from cover fielder, but the overthrow is going to concede the single, as Arjun said. Can't cut it off. Not sure the throw was necessary there from Powell, but well, desperate times for Nepal, causing for desperate measures. Dhaliwal's played nicely, gets to 69. Looks like he's got the conviction of a man who's desperate to get red ink next to his name. He'd love a 85 or a 90 not out if he could get there. Would love to hear from you as always. If you are tuning in, burning the midnight oil back in Kathmandu or across the beautiful country of Nepal, it's 3:20 AM there now. Do get in touch, use the hashtag CWCL2. Or if you have any questions about the structure of the format, get them into me. You can get me at CricketBadge on Twitter or Instagram. I'm not going to have every answer, but we'll try and provide what we can for you over the course of the last 40 minutes of play or so that it will take Canada to get these runs. Certainly right now for Nepal, the fearful days of pre-Monty Desai are very much starting to loom large. When Desai took over, all the talk across Nepal was, are they going to lose their ODI status? And then a miraculous run of 11 wins from 12 to close out Cricket World Cup League 2 didn't just save their status, but also drove them to rob Namibia of the third automatic qualification spot for the Cricket World Cup qualifier. Hook shot from Dhaliwal. Rajbanchi does well with just the one hand. Now, for the first time, maybe in the Desai era, some real questions are being asked. Same player pool, it's the same group of boys, it's the same mindsets, but this tour is turning into a bit of a horror one right now. Big shout out to Jeremy and all the production team. They did a wonderful job bringing in these pictures. We know we had a few challenges the first 2 days here in King City, but glad to hear from you all today that they've been remedied as of Game 3, and you've been enjoying those pictures not just on ICC TV, but on Fancode, on Kantapur back in Nepal too. Even the energy of the most ardent Nepal fan has just turned to a whimper now. But Gulshan Jad continues to try his heart out. He's got 1 for 33. It's 1 for 7 for 2.
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नेरो.
This contest for Nepal was to pick up all 10 wickets of this Canadian side. Unfortunately, not able to do that, and Canada have really been in the driving seat from the get-go. The light's starting to fade as well. It's starting to get quite dark as the clouds are coming in. You can just sense the rain that's anticipated for about 10 o'clock tonight. You can feel it in the air. The moisture is starting to build up and cool air coming in.
Well, Rajbanchi to return to the attack. He's been by far the most economical of the bowlers today. It's been a funny time with the ball, isn't it, for Nepal? Gulshan Jha and Karen KC have probably been the pick of the bowlers in the 3 outings so far for them. But the spinners have been, well, strangely ineffectual. Lamachani in particular has probably just tried a bit too hard, hasn't he? There has been turn on offer, there's been bounce on offer. Rajbanchi's bowled nicely today, kept things very tight, but by Nepal standards, you think of all the games they've won all over the world, it's so often their spinners that have done all the damage, or certainly all the restricting at least, to build up pressure to get them into contests. But because the surface has done quite a bit with the new ball, they felt compelled to bowl a bit more seam, and Cammy probably hasn't had his best 3 days. Maybe these conditions are as suitable to him because the kind of seamer he is. But for Jha and KC, they've had their moments. Just wonder, could a young Hemant Dami have been here maybe? As Dhaliwal says, enough is enough. Time to get this ended in a hurry. Skip down the track, good footwork, and the first maximum off Rajbanshi.
Well, 4 dot balls, 4 quiet deliveries from Rajbanshi, and then a maximum. Navneet Dhaliwal making that look awfully easy, just using his feet down the track, getting to the pitch of the ball, and straight down, a rocket of a shot. It's going to be the end of the 36th over, 153 for 2.
वर्षदेखि तपाईको जीवनलाई खुशी र रंगीन बनाउँदै आइरहेको नेपालकै पहिलो र उत्कृष्ट जर्मन प्रविधिबाट उत्पादित वर्षौंसम्म टिक्ने उच्च गुणस्तरीय यति कार्पेट अब अझै अत्याधुनिक अनि अनेकौं आकर्षक रंग र डिजाइनहरूमा यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सनुहोला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Finish beneath one of the teams that's come up that is challenging you in essence from that Challenge League to get into League 2. It's a really good structure. The sides that are coming up have to earn their way past those ranked above them. For Canada, you are now going to take this win with 29 more runs required and move top of the table. Remember, they came up from the Challenge League. Many Canadian fans will, of course, remember back in early 2019 when they lost their ODI status in the most dramatic of circumstances by net run rate to Papua New Guinea down in Windhoek. That consigned them to 4 years without ODI status, to have to go through the Challenge League. They were excellent in that. They won 13 from 15, and then under the guidance of Pabudu Dasanayake, they were good enough down in the qualifier playoff down in Windhoek. Ironically, it was back there to be able to get their ODI status back and get into this league. And now they're into this league, they're showing they very much belong here.
Really is a tough level of competition here, though, isn't it, within the league too? Some strong sides, especially the top 4 sides, are quite neck and neck. And despite what we saw from Canada in the Netherlands, it just wasn't the best of showing. They are quite a capable side, though. USA, I mean, they're just dominating every game that they play in Namibia at the moment. Pulled away, calls to catch it, but wide of the fielder at mid-wicket. Getting in the bounce for Gulshanjah.
Another one beats the outside edge. There's been plenty of that for Nepal in the second innings. Haven't been particularly lucky, but you make your own luck as well. The 2 dropped chances. Be really disappointed with those.
How much of the equation do you think would have changed had they picked up Navneet Dhaliwal off that first chance?
It could have been a really different contest. It would have been 48 for 2. You get Thacker early, he can be a slow starter, as he's showing again here. Or even if you just keep things tight with him and you create a chance against Pargat Singh, get Curtin to the crease. This one's hooked away for 4. Monty Desai is out having a jog on the road side of the ground, and he'll leave it to Lalit Rajbanshi to field. Testing bouncer, but a very good hook shot. Good technique from Harsh Thacker.
A couple bounces and into the signage. Going for that short ball again, Harsh Tucker. He's up for the challenge as he picks up a boundary to his name into double digits now. Canada in need of just 23 more runs.
6 from the over, 159 for 2.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्। पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ। ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो। पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडौ फोन पे गरौ।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माण मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल तपाईँको असली एनर्जी असली नै रोजौं। विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा खोजेको मौका।
Might even try to get it done a little quicker than that, as Dhaliwal uses his feet beautifully, doesn't he? Again, showing the reward of time at the crease. It'll be one bounce and it'll run away for 4.
Boy, he doesn't want to hang around too much longer here, Navneet Dhaliwal. Good use of the feet and excellent balance as he plays that into the deep. One bounce, 4 runs.
Not an angle you see altogether too often. It's usually a pretty defensive angle. Left arm over the wicket as an orthodox spinner. Very difficult to get an LBW from here. Dhaliwal takes on Rajbanshi. He might just be thinking of 3 figures here, because there's still just time. Need to get the vast majority of the remaining runs. But a couple more maximums will have him on the brink. A great strike for 6.
Well, that was an incredible shot. Down on one knee, slug swept, and that did go quite a distance. In fact, those cars are lucky that there's a fence there. It would have broken a windshield.
Clever bowling. Rajbanshi strikes back. Dhaliwal was looking to end it in a hurry, and he was probably thinking about getting those final 13 runs himself to get him to what would have been a maiden ODI century. But instead, he'll have to fall for the unlucky Australian number of 87. It's been a fine innings, and it has his side right on the brink of a 3rd consecutive win.
Well, a wicket comes, but might be a little too late for Nepal. Navneet Dhaliwal, who has batted so well. He goes for 87 off 113 deliveries. Canada 169 for 3. Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माण मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या स्टिल तपाईँको असली एनर्जी असली नै रोजौं।
Indulgent festive delight. Celebrate with Dark Fantasy. Now at special prices.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ धारा साउजी।
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ, क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ, मूल्य होइन।
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु।
To be Akhil Kumar. starts with a dot ball. Onto the front foot and defended. The light's starting to fade pretty quickly here, as that's going to be the end of the 38th over, 169 for 3.
विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा अझै पनि मौका।
साथी हो गर्नुबाट जिन्दगी बर्बाद गर्नेछु। Mountain Dew डरको अगाडि जित्छ।
Early, maybe just an opportunity to get some time in the middle for a variety of Canadian players. Lamachani will bowl his 9th. Hasn't bowled badly. Bowled a couple of maidens in there and shown plenty of variation, but just not able to sustain the pressure on to either of the 2 Canadian right-handers he's bowled to. Now he's got 2 new ones, Thacker and Akhil Kumar. Might be a chance for a couple of wickets. He was a bit too straight again, and somewhere he's been just picked off with real regularity. In fact, I got back for a second. Lamachani strikes. Thought it might be an opportunity for a wicket to his name. Probably going to be immaterial in terms of the result, but may well have been the googly. Very full indeed. Thacker was tempted to try and smash it down the ground, and he's been cleaned up by Sandeep Lamachani.
Well, this is disappointing. Harsh Thacker gone for 13 off 24. Not many runs needed. He's furious with himself, as he would have expected to bring his side home here. Sandeep Lamachani picks up his first wicket.
Yeah, definitely the googly, and it ended up just going in a gaping hole between bat and pad. Thacker furious with himself. He just...
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
57 in the last game to his name, and the game before that 73 against Nepal in that first game.
Starts with an off break to Nicholas Curtin. Do you see leg break bowlers do this more and more often? I'm not convinced by it. If you can trust your leg breaks, there's no reason why you can't bowl them to left-handers. You don't have to take the ball away from the outside edge. Lamachani bowls such good googlies as well, can always bowl a few more of those to the left-handers, but Liam Livingston, Siaki Bilias do it. Plenty of cricketers in the modern era bowling it both ways. So Lamachani landing a few off breaks to Curtin and a bit of a smile on his face as he has got his first wicket to his name. 39 bowled, 171 for 4.
Wishing you all a happier home.
DHI, happier home. छुट्टै छ है।
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
Wishing you all a happier home.
DHI, happier home. छुट्टै छ है।
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट स्ट्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
Road pedals go into a close catching cover. He's brought some Palkami into the ring as well. 11 required to win. Can Nepal continue to astound us and find a few more wickets and find a late twist? Goes to show again, Manali, doesn't it? 220 on the board. I'm not saying that Nepal would win the game from here, but they might just be able to create a wobble. Problem is, 181 on the board is just never going to be enough.
And just put that scoreboard pressure with a few more runs. Canada's got one more game against Oman. They take a bit of a breather in the next game.
Very nearly. This one burst through a big puff of dust as he hammers it in off the inside edge onto his boot. Teasing bowling, tempting bowling from Lalit Rajbanshi. This has gone a long way up. Can Powell get back to take the catch? He's put it down. And that rather sums up Nepal's day. It should have been the fifth wicket. Kumar should have been taken for a duck. They're not easy going over your own shoulder. And he had to run back a long way because remember he was in tight there at silly bit off. But he did get there, made good ground to it and shelled the catch.
Akil Kumar is off the mark.
भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित।
No compromise with Dhara Saudi.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ, क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ, मूल्य होइन।
मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
Nicholas Curtin gets off the mark. Runs required to win. Not easy for Powell. Really difficult chance, that one. Actually did really well to get there, but unable to hold on. Just sadly embodies the performance today, doesn't it, from Nepal. There are a few drops of rain in the air now, as the weather really is closing in around us. Do worry a wee bit about Tuesday. Whether or not we're going to be able to get a contest in can be reduced down to as little as a 20 overs per side match.
It's the rain and then it's also the loss of light. Days start to get pretty short as we enter the fall and winter months.
Skipped a season into winter now, are we?
As of tomorrow, we're in fall.
Hit towards long up and taken. Actually very well struck by Akhil Kumar in Canada. Well, they're just getting themselves into a little bit of a kerfuffle as they try to cross the line. These are going to make the margin of victory look a lot tighter than it actually is, as they've managed to conspire to lose the fifth wicket.
And it's Sandeep Lamichhane. He's picked up the second wicket. It's Akhil Kumar. Sampal Kame doing the hard work in the deep.
अब उत्सव हुन्छ अझै बढी रमाइलो किन्नुहोस् 400 ml मात्र रु 50 मा यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सनुहोला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एशियन पेन्ट्स ज्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
Bowling at some of the latter order for Canada here. Sherry Small with the new man to the crease. He's in at number 7. I've just been given a few indications that, well, if Arif Sheikh could have held on to either of those chances earlier in the innings, he dropped Dhaliwal on 33 and 46. And the score was 48 for 1, and then a little while later when it was 74 for 1. May well have had a very different contest, particularly if Casey and Lamichhane could have just scrapped a little bit harder to get up to 220 rather than the 180 they have on the board. But all of it's going to be immaterial. All of it will be a postscript in what will surely be another win for Canada. 8 runs required, any 2 boundaries will do from here.
We weren't expected to see 5 wickets down for Canada. At one point, they were in total control. Partnership between Pargat Singh and Navneet Dhaliwal. Bit of a change-up in the batting lineup today, bringing in Akhil Kumar.
Be a single to get Mova off the mark. It'll round out Sandeep Lamichhane's 10 overs. He'll finish with 10 overs, 2 for 42 next to his name. 2 maidens in there as well. To go with that 49 he made.
Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एशियन पेन्ट्स ज्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस् मोबाइलमा चल्छ सेवा
Maybe some rain boots.
Do you just have one clarification as well? We presume that it was a stumping that Navneet Dhaliwal was dismissed to, but the playing control team have got across to us that it was a caught behind decision, feather of an outside edge as well. So a bit of a double play, caught behind and stumped, as Lalit Rajbanshi wants an LBW decision in his favour. Run out chance, throw, didn't come in time. Now I think if Jah had recognised that Nicholas Curtin had run almost the best part of a single and got the throw in, not even a direct hit would have been needed. What are Canada doing here?
Well, it looks like it's outside the leg stump. But Nicholas Curtin, where are you going? Loud call from Shreyas Mova as soon as he realized that his batting partner was halfway down the track.
All a bit immaterial, this, all too little too late, but Canada are just staggering over the line here. Should be cruising home. You suspect now Curtin with the left arm spinner on, well, he might even try this to end it in one blow. 186 would do it. 182 the target, 6 to win. I think if Jad realised that all he needs to do is throw it to the non-strikers, then it was a real run-out opportunity. Sharp turn back into Curtin.
Well, this game has come into the 42nd over, chasing 182. Canada would have liked to finish this in some more emphatic manner. And they just sort of ambled to that target.
Well, a bit of complacency that I don't think you'd have seen from a very top side. Can't imagine the Netherlands or Scotland or even USA doing what Canada have done here, because it's not a good habit to be in. This league is so competitive. When you get on top of the side, you want to be ruthless and just completely squash them. Nepal aren't going to win this game, but I've taken a little bit of late success as Curtin gets a boundary away with the reverse sweep. Very nearly went to Sampal Kami at backward point, but instead they're now just 2 runs away.
Well, Nicholas Curtin continuing what he's done so well in this series. Getting that switch hit in, and he does well to get the amount of bat that he did on it. Quite wide of him. He picks up a boundary, and now just 2 runs needed for Canada to sail home.
Going to try and win it in grand style, and what a way to win it. A 6 that's going to travel down the main road. Bang bang from Curtin to seal the deal, and handshakes all around. Canada, well, they have hammered Nepal here by 5 wickets. It's been a thoroughly dominant and hugely impressive performance from the side that will now move top of the table. For Nepal, plenty more questions to answer for them. They'll have to go back to the drawing board and try and bounce back in 2 days' time. Canada sitting pretty at the top.
Well, handshakes all around, and they win by 5 wickets. Came down to the end of the 42nd over for Canada to pull off this victory. I'm sure they would have liked to pull it off a bit sooner than this, but a lot of positive signs for the Canadian side. Decent batting, batters are in form, the bowlers have done the job today as well. In Nepal, they really will be going back to the drawing board, I presume. They will need to go back and reassess their strategies. And hopefully, they'll be coming out stronger against Oman in 2 days' time.
Well, a really one-sided contest. Kind of was never anything but a one-sided contest, barring some great rearguard efforts with the bat from the lower order for Nepal, and the initial early impact from Karen KC picking up that wicket of Aaron Johnson. It was a very impressive partnership for the second wicket between the 2 right-handers who batted responsibly and with maturity. Yes, Dhaliwal had a couple of moments of real fortune to be able to get to that total of 87, but they put on 122 and really all but closed out the game. There was contributions from Harsh Thacker and then a couple of boundaries for Nicholas Curtin to seal the deal, as Canada cruised home by 5 wickets.
The bowling was put under a little bit of pressure after the initial outburst from Karan Casey and Lalit Radhabanshi, both picking up a wicket, along with Gulshan Kumar Jha. Sandeep Lamichhane, standout performer today for Nepal, both with bat and ball. He picked up 2 wickets to his name today, and 49 runs off the bat. All in all, though, Canada well on top of this contest, through and through. In the end, they win by 5 wickets.
Yeah, just those 3 late wickets really hiding and sparing a few of the blushes of Nepal, because Canada have been too good today. And look at that for a sight for the Canadian fans. They are sitting right on top of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 table. I don't think many coming here after that tour of the Netherlands would have thought that, but they've managed to find a way to use these home conditions. They know so well here at King City to win all three of the matches that they've played, and they now go above the Netherlands to 14 points. Yes, they've played 3 more games than them, but what a great position to be in for the Canadian side. Nicholas Curtin is having a much more enjoyable second series as captain than he did in his first. And we'll leave you with the news that Canada have won by 5 wickets. Don't go near too far. We'll have the post-match presentation where we'll hear from both captains. And we'll crown the player of the match, probably between Kalim Sana and Navneet Taliwal for that. We want to thank you so much for watching. Canada on home soil, looking very good indeed. They're 5-wicket winners.
DHI Home Appliances presents Nepal को विश्व कप यात्रा, powered by Panchakanya Steel and Asian Paints Smart Care Dam Proof. मात्र कानपुर Max र हाम्रा डिजिटल प्लेटफर्महरुमा. An AD Release Initiative. Title Sponsor.
DHI Happier Home. छुट्टै छ है.
Powered by
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
Panchakanya Steel.
चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्.
In association with Something Star Fantasy. Energized by
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नेरोजोन.
Co-sponsored by
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ, फोन पे डिरेक्ट, नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौँ.
ई-सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मेरो पहिलो रोजाई.
सही खोजौँ, शुद्ध रोजौँ. मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु.
Himalayan Bank.
Mountain Dew. दौडको अगाडि जित्छ.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Wishing you all a happier home.
DHI Happier Home. छुट्टै छ है.
फलामको शक्ति र गुणले भरिएको प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको आकारमा समानता अनि तौलमा एकरूपता रहेको गुणस्तरमा उत्कृष्ट हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT.
Panchakanya Steel.
मैले सब मापदण्ड पुरा गरी गजबको घर बनाएँ, तर एकदम पछि मात्र थाहा पाएँ मैले त आफ्नो घर इन्कम्प्लिट नै छाडेछु. तर मसँग अब एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम्प प्रुफ छ, जसले मेरा यी सब समस्या समाधान गरी मेरो इन्कम्प्लिट घरलाई कम्प्लिट गर्छ. त्यसैले चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम्प प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्.
Let me treat you with something special. Is that you again? On my mind. Why do I want you all the time? Won't wait, can't wait, won't wait. Can't wait, won't wait, not for a minute. Can't wait, won't wait, not
Can't wait, won't wait. Something Star Fantasy. भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला, तर ई-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ. Starting from just ₹760 a year, get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-sewa app and secure your future today.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी असली नेरोजोन रेड बुल. टिममा बेस्ट रोजैमा बसिलो मात्र ओर्जिनल सबैभन्दा जोसिलो. तपाईँको असली एनर्जी असली नै रोजौं। पसल नभ्याइ हुन्छ। पैसा जति सबै फोन पेबाट सिधै बैंक खातामा गएपछि म त ढुक्क।
कति बताए?
450। फोन पे त मेरो लागि वरदान नै हो। आउँदै गर्नु
न क्यास बोक्नुपर्ने न एटिएममा लाइन लाग्नुपर्ने, फोन भए पुग्छ। फोन पे त मेरो लागि लाइफस्टाइल भइसक्यो।
ट्याक्सी दाइ फोन पे चल्छ है?
चलिहाल्छ नि, बस्नुहोस्।
अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ। ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो। हस्, थ्याङ्क यू दाइ।
बिजुलीको बिल तिर्यो?
तिर त। हेर्नुहोस् न, आफ्नो त बिर्सिने बानी। भने बिल दिन भने जस्तै यादै हुँदैन, तर सम्झिने बित्तिकै फोन पे गरिदिइहाल्छु। फोन पे मेरो लागि भरपर्दो साथी। साँच्ची, तिमीले फ्लाइटको टिकट बुक गर्यौ?
मैले हिजै बुक गरिसकेँ। गरिसक्यो भने
फोन पे त मेरो लागि समयको बचत हो।
मेरो लागि विश्वास हो, स्वतन्त्रता हो।
मेरो लागि आवश्यकता हो।
मेरो लागि सहजता हो। मेरो लागि दिनचर्या हो।
मेरो लागि सरलता हो। 2 करोड ग्राहकका लागि र 13 लाख व्यवसायीहरूका लागि फोन पे उनीहरूको आफ्नै हो। फोन पे हरेकको लागि, फोन पे मेरो लागि हो। Wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home. छुट्टै छ है।
Be defeats again. Can you maybe try and guide me through the match?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew what we were going to do, especially batting first. And yeah, I would say that we didn't bat it as we expected, and the way Canadian bowler bowled, and I think that was great. And at the same time, I think there were some rash shots, and I think my run out was nothing there. And then after, I think when we were bowling, I think our luck was missing from our side. I think the ball were going into the gaps. But still, having said that, the way both the batsmen played, Pragat and Navneet, I think they played really well. So hats off to them, and I think tough day for us.
I have to ask you about the decision to bat first. It felt like a cast iron bowl first morning. Nicholas Curtin looked shocked. We even had to get some messages confirming that you had indeed decided to bat first. It was an overcast morning. The pitches proved very difficult in the first hour. What's the thinking there?
Yeah, I think the theme was very clear, especially the stats and everything. The way the tournament was holding, especially Canada, both the games they batted first inning, and they were posting around 250, 270 runs in both the games. And we thought that the ground stats and the tournament is going in that way, posting the score on the first inning, and then after the wicket is challenging, no batsman is set, and in those conditions, chasing is really a tough job. But having said that, and I think as a batting unit we need to step up, especially in those conditions.
Your top order is really struggling. Top 6, only 2 scores of double figures, and they were both 10, and it was number 7, 8, 9 and 10 that rescued you to get up to 180. They could even have maybe got to 200, 220. Can you identify where it's going wrong for the batting? I know it is a tricky pitch, and it's difficult, particularly in the first 15 overs.
Yeah, I think we were missing the application, especially throughout the tournament. The 3 games, we didn't apply ourselves, especially in these wickets. I think that in these wickets you need to be stick there, especially the way Navneet was playing. He was not having his luck, but still he was staying there throughout the inning. I think one of us need to stick there and take the game as deep as possible, because if you score 30, 40, 50, you're never set in these wickets. So yeah, we need to apply in that regards.
Okay, final question. It's been a difficult tour. You have to pick up a win. How important is it in 2 days' time that you still may find a way to beat Oman?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last game we played against Oman, that was a tight game. I think the result would have gone any side. The way we bowled in the last phases. So I think the belief is there. So we want to finish the game on a high note.
Okay, well, look, many commiserations. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, that's Rod Pedal, captain of Nepal. Time to speak to the captain of Canada. That's Nicholas Curtin. Nicholas, congratulations. Another really good performance. You must have been delighted, particularly with the way you bowled. The wickets you took early, they ended up really deciding the contest.
Yeah, obviously we spoke about getting a good start and using the overhead conditions, so I think the opener bowlers, kudos to them, they bowl well all 3 games so far, and obviously getting a chance to use the morning conditions for the first time, I think they did exceptionally well.
Dylan Hayligger's kind of been the one taking the headlines. He's the leading wicket taker in the tournament. He picked up another couple, but it was the Kalim Sana show, wasn't it? 10 over 3 for 29. How good was he today?
Yeah, honestly, like when Sana bowling like that, there's not much guys in associate cricket that can play him, to be honest. So once he hit his straps like that, and then Dylan obviously was pretty solid from the net side, keeping it tight, and then he was rewarded with a couple of wickets as well. So yeah, again, I think they're bowling really well in partnership, and hopefully they'll continue to do that.
Can you identify how and why you've turned it around from the Netherlands? It was just such a tough tour. I was there with you. We kept asking you really tough questions after defeats, but it's the absolute inverse here. It's the opposite. It's 3 matches, 3 wins. You're playing some really good cricket.
Yeah, obviously home conditions probably play a big part, and then I think the team kind of gelling together a bit better, and obviously Navi coming back in the team, he missed it last year because he was hurt. As you can see, obviously he's making a difference in terms of the batting lineup and helping us lay that platform. So I think that's probably, and obviously as the fielding for sure is a big plus, so that's probably a couple of areas that helping us to turn it around here.
What's pleased you the most? Is it that kind of turnaround of the fielding, that the bowling unit seems to be, all the decisions you're making as captain seem to be going right as well? What's most pleasing for you?
Yeah, I think it went well today. Yeah, bowling changes, I kind of messed it up a lot today. Didn't really give guys long spells, but I think they still executed well, even though they didn't really get time to settle. And I just think like the energy in the team, like even on the field, like the buzz that we have, keeping the atmosphere up, I think that's what's working for us mostly.
Okay, final question. There was lots of friends and family here today, wasn't there? They were a little bit outnumbered by the Nepal fans, over 1,000 here altogether, but it must be really special to have those friends and family mean a lot to you here.
Yeah, definitely. My mom, wife came in from Barbados, so like to getting some performances in front of them is definitely good for me personally. Then I know the other guys have family members here as well, so I'm just happy that we could get performances for the fans that actually turned up for us.
Well, many congratulations. 3 matches, 3 wins, a couple of days off. We'll see you in 4 days time.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Nicholas Curtin, the captain, delighted captain of Canada. Time for the player of the match decision. I'd like to ask the ICC match referee, Mr. Kent Tanham, to come up and present this award. Kent, nice to see you. Congratulations to your team for doing a great job again today. Plenty of contenders, mainly on the Canadian side, but a special mention too for Sandeep Lamachani for a career best 49 with the bat for him. It was really a toss-up for us between a bowler and a batter. Kalim Sana was outstanding with 3 for 29, but ultimately the player of the match scored his career best in ODI cricket. He made 87 in his second ODI 50. Please give a warm round of applause for the player of the match today, Navneet Aliwal. So Navneet's going to receive his award from Kent Tanham. And pose for a couple of photos as well. Thanks, Kent. Come here, Nav.
Yes.
Many congratulations. You missed the tour in the Netherlands. You weren't there, but you've come back into the team and you've been in really good form here. A very obdurate innings in the first match, but a much more dominant one today. You must be really happy.
It is like we'll figure it out. We have to kind of punish the bad balls. The first game, we know it's going to be very hard to play the good length ball. It's going to be up and down and a lot of lateral movements too. So you have to apply quite a bit to score here.
There hasn't been many openers have success in this series thus far because the first 10 to 15 overs have really belonged to the new ball. How do you counteract that kind of quite extreme movement?
It is, I think, it was in my mind too in the first game too. The plan was just to kind of play off the new balls, especially first 20 overs, just don't think about the runs too much. Just play out the new balls and then attack in the middle. So that went well in the first game. So I want to repeat it again.
You put on 122 with Pargat Singh. You enjoy batting with him. It looked like a good combination.
I think one of the super batsmen we have, the way he played Lamichan, like he's just dominated him, and it's not easy to dominate one of the best leg spinner we have in associate cricket. So very well played.
Never like to focus on a negative, but you were dropped twice. You gave a couple of those chances. Were you determined when you did get those lives to make sure you cashed in? It looked to me like you were almost thinking of 100 there towards the end.
It is, yes. I was counting like it's 87 and 12 to go. And left arm, and I play left arm well, so I was taking my chances. I think he bowled well.
Okay, final question. How important are these 3 wins for Canada in this Cricket World Cup League 2 table? Very difficult, very competitive league, but that win has now got you top of the table.
Massive, I think. Any points we get in here is massive. So we're focusing on our next game now. Hopefully we get more points.
It's career best. I'm sure that 100 is just around the corner in some innings soon. Really enjoy watching you back. Well done.
Thank you very much.
That's Navneet Dhaliwal, who is the player of the match today. It's also going to wrap up our coverage from here in King City. It's going hopefully grey and very dreary here. And in 2 days' time, there is a little bit of forecast of some rain, but hopefully that will not come along and play spoil sport, because in 2 days' time, we've got Nepal taking on Oman. Please do come and join us for all our coverage. Will be from the same time, the same place. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.
पत्ते नहीं
लास्ट टाइम पुनः बाजुजीले घर जितेर घरै राखिदिनु भएको
यी सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर भएको यी सेवा वालामा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा नयाँ घरै जिते मैले पत्तै नै
नपत्याए राजेशलाई सोध
भनेपछि मैले राजेशलाई सोध्नु पर्छ तिमीहरूले के गर्छ मलाई थाहा छैन यो ल्याएर यहाँ राख्यो नपत्याए राजेशलाई सोध ओरिजिनल चाहियो ओरिजिनल डुप्लिकेट रूप त्यस्तो हाल्दै हाल्छ मान्छे जस्तो सुरको लागि शङ्कर ओरिजिनल विदेशबाट ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफर मार्फत ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा पठाउँदा काठमाडौँमा जित्ने मौका
अब उत्सव हुन्छ अझै बढी रमाइलो किन्नुहोस् 400 ml मात्र रु 50 मा
प्राकृतिक रात भएको विश्वासिलो गुणस्तरीय अनि राम्रो नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ भारत साउजी
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
सानो सानो बचतले नै पूरा गरिरहेका हुन्छन् यी सबै आवश्यकताहरू त्यसैले सानो होस् वा ठुलो हिमालयन ब्याङ्कमा गरेको बचतले नै पूरा गर्नेछ तपाईँको हरेक आवश्यकता हिमालयन ब्याङ्क
Wishing you all a happier home.
happier home छुट्टै छ है
खोज सम्बन्ध खोजन नाता आफ्नाको बीच खोजन साथ संस्कार र संस्कृति के हो भन्ने त सबले बिर्सिसके आजकल आफ्नो त यही यति कार्पेट नै हो यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
साथी हो गर्नु भने जिन्दगी भर रिग्रेट गर्नेछु Mountain Dew डरको अगाडि जित्छ
Let me treat you with something special. Is that you again? On my mind. Why do I want you all the time? Won't wait, just wait, won't wait. Just wait, won't wait, not for a minute. Just wait, won't wait, not
Can't
for
wait,
a
won't
moment.
wait. Something's done fantasy.
Red Bull Studios पुरस्कार पुल जित्नु पुरा फ्रीभित्र कार बाइक स्कुटरका साथै थुप्रै पुरस्कारहरू जित्न सक्नुहुनेछ तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौँ
पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
Wishing you all a happy
Yatra, powered by Panchakanya Steel and Asian Paints Smart Care Dam Proof.
Nice drive down the ground, beats mid off. Could be the first boundary if the outfield's quick enough to get it to the row. Get behind the captain chanting his name. And that's going to please them. Row it, were the cheers as the bowler approached the crease. And he delivers for them. Nicely driven. Over pitch by Akhil Kumar. You can hear the fans are desperate to have something to cheer. Maybe Gulshan Jha is going to be the one to get them. Nicely driven. Going to be 4. Beats the infield and races away down to the shortest boundary. Only about 57, 58 metres down there. Over pitched by Haliger. Gulshan Jha looks like the lone warrior here for Nepal.
When he's got the bat in his hand.
There is that slog sweep. Gets it very nicely and it's well placed over the head of mid-wicket who's in the circle. And it's going to be 4. Down the leg side. Goes hunting for a wicket and gets punished. How often have we seen that? It's going to be 4 more. The first boundary for Kami. That's a really good pull stroke. A bit of swagger in that. Aaron Johnson's out at mid-wicket. He hasn't even moved. Going to be 4 more right on top of the bounce. And Canada all of a sudden are being posed some questions. And have a look at the body language in the field. Swept away. Good control of that sweep. Going to get 4. All of a sudden Nepal just coming alive in this contest. Nicely cut. Finding the gap. There's not much of a gap between one of 3 men behind backward square. Lamachani. Driven away very pleasingly by KC. And he's going to get... Oh, he might have 4 here. Nepal's fans are absolutely convinced that this has touched the rope from the umpire. It is given as 4, and I think cut away. Just a little bit of width on offer. It's going to be cut away for 4. Dhaliwal getting the reward for toughing it out there. Again, it was at a catchable height, but just out of the reach of Bim Sharkey, who was hovering there at backward point. Driven down the ground. That should be 4. Beats Karen KC 2 full from Gulshan Jha. Hit at a catchable height, but wide of cover. And Anil Shah, he usually has the gloves on himself. He misfields. Fielding position. That's not the line you want to bowl. Pumped away immediately for 4. Dragged down by Pargat Singh in immediate pressure onto Arif Sheikh. Width on offer and cut away for 4 more. Not close enough to Dipendra Singh Ari. Googly, but picked and hammered away by Navneet Dhaliwal. He's going to get to 50. In fact, that's not 50, it's Pargat Singh. That's an effortless stroke just to skip down the track and pressure built up. To release it, and he releases it with a boundary 4. Singh get curtain to the crease. This one tucked away for 4. Monty Desai is out having a jog on the road side of the ground, and he might even try to get it done a little quicker than that. As Dhaliwal, he uses his feet beautifully, doesn't he? Again, but taking a little bit of late success. And as Curtin gets a boundary away. Spongy tennis ball bounce you're getting. Gulshan Jha is going to send them into raptures. Hits it right into the crowd. All the way for 6. And it's the biggest cheer of the day.
Well, height not an issue for Gulshan Jha, as he has absolutely smashed Praveen Kumar.
This is ramped away, and it's ramped all the way. Bit of an uppercut. It's going to go for 6. Just for a moment, deep third will have been interested.
Total against this Canadian side.
Sandy Plamachani is going to have a bit of a heave, and heave one all the way for 6. It's going to bring the 100 up. Hit down the ground, and it's going to be hit all the way for 6. One of Karen KC's favourite zones. Tossed up by Sad Bin Safar. Now, deep third's in place, but it's gone well fine of him. I think this has gone for 6. Good hook shot. He struck that very well, hasn't he? And they're waiting for Raman Surkoti, who's out there. Short ball, and that's given the treatment. Daliwal picks up the length beautifully and smashes it all the way for 6.
It's Kalim Sana who is doing the cleanup outside the boundary, inside out.
That's an even better shot. 4 and now 6. He loves going inside out, and Bhargat Singh may well beat Daliwal to the 50 marker. Young Hemant Dami have been here maybe. As Daliwal says, enough is enough. Time to get this ended in a hurry. Skip down the track, good footwork, and the first maximum off Raj Banshi. But a young Hemant Dami have been here maybe. As Daliwal says, enough is enough. Time to get this ended in a hurry. Skip down the track, good footwork, and the first maximum off Raj Banshi. Winner. Very difficult to get an LBW from here. Daliwal takes on Raj Banshi. Might just be thinking of 3 figures here, because there's still just time. Going to try and win it in grand style, and what a way to win it. A 6 that's going to travel down the main road. Bang bang from Curtin to seal the deal, and handshakes all around. Canada, well, they have hammered Nepal here by 5 wickets. It's been a thoroughly bowls him. It's chopped on. Asif Sheikh looking to force a back foot drive. A bit of movement back in, just enough movement. You could say unfortunate for Sheikh, but Nepal have lost that early wicket.
Hitting the deck hard. It didn't do much in terms of movement, but just the angle at which...
What a delivery that is. And Moba does the rest. Kalim Sada gets one to leap through the surface. Close to unplayable, you'd have to say, this one. They do have 2 in the power play.
The second wicket of Nepal, hitting the deck hard, just gets a little bit of extra bounce. And taking a little bit of the...
And what's this come off? Well, it's been given. I think Saud was trying to indicate it might have come off the pad. It is the 3rd wicket in the power play. Haylager wheels away in celebration.
We take another look at the wicket. Jagged in sharply. And it looks like it just might have taken...
And wants the single massive mix-up. And, oh, this is going to be a calamity. I'm not even sure who's going to be run out. I don't think Arif Sheikh has ever left his crease.
It was Rohit Podol's call. He was the one running to the danger end. He was the one facing the ball. Arif Sheikh was planted to his ground. A wayward throw.
There was somebody there backing up to toss it up to the keeper. They whipped the bails off, and in, well, rather tragic circumstances, Rohit Podol
just missing the outside edge.
Swept towards the man, a deep backward square, who takes the catch. It was well struck. That's going to be number 6. Arif Sheikh hadn't been able to survive. He looked completely ill at ease, and it's an outside edge. It's just prodded away from his body.
As he goes for 10 off 33, who would you rank your most favourite?
Edged and gone. Really good catch. It's gone quickly to Navneet Dhaliwal. He gets his hands up sharply above his head to hold on to a critical wicket. Harsh Thakur brought back into the attack. Now, this is going to be very close, and this time it's gone. It was a bit of a nothing shot, wasn't it? I think he was initially thinking to sweep. So Cammy's trapped LBW.
Oh, this, at first glance, looks like maybe legs enough. But that's going to be the end of Sampal Kami. A decent knock.
Chipped, and Lamachani is going to be caught shy of 50. And a big celebration from Kumar too.
In his crease for quite some time, and he is frustrated.
Rely upon their bowlers. Karen KC doesn't get this, and he's going to be caught at long on. It was a low full toss. Here in the power play. Chipped in the air. That's going to be number one. Right on cue. And Gulshan Jad is who takes an excellent catch. Tough at the top. You just sensed it was coming, didn't you? Karen Casey strikes, and they're dancing up in the bleachers.
To give, and unfortunately it is his undoing. Chipped into the leg side, just going straight into the hands.
And a wicket from nowhere. Gulshan Jha has got some reward, and it's the man I thought it should have been at Gully in the first place. Anil Shah will take the catch. Singh is dismissed for 64. It'll probably be too little too late. Lamachani strikes. Thought it might be an opportunity for a wicket to his name.
As of tomorrow, we're in fall.
It's hit towards long up and taken. Actually very well struck by Akhil Kumar. And so that's news from the middle. Rohit Patel, the captain of Nepal. He's won the toss. A little bit of a surprise, potentially. He's going to bat first.
Sure to happen in the first few overs today is the ball is going to move, and the opening pair of Nepal will be tested. Beautiful day, Lenny.
Ray of light. Lighting up my morning here in King City. Let's go look at the teams. Unchanged for Nepal. Real surprise for me, I have to say. I thought they'd make a couple of changes. I thought we might see Kumar thought he bowled nicely in the T20s in the Netherlands. He gets his chance now in the longer format. Again, maybe a difference of opinion over the pitch. Plenty of spin options for Canada.
Basically going to open up the honours with the bat, as no surprise to see Colin Sana with the ball for Canada.
So we're nearly all set for play. Just 1 minute before new ball in hand. The clock ticks over to 11. Here we go. Immediately gets one full and challenging, Arjun said, but I think it's pitched outside leg. Callum bowls him. It's chopped on. Asim Sheikh looking to force a back foot drive. A bit of movement back in, just enough movement. You could say unfortunate for Sheikh, but Nepal have lost that early wicket.
Hitting the deck hard. It didn't do much in terms of movement, but just the angle at which...
Nice drive down the ground, beats it off. Could be the first boundary if the outfield's quick enough to get it to the rope. Nicely played. Seen a couple of these strokes from Arjun Sav. The back foot should get 3. Curtin does the fielding, does get it off, cut off inside the rope. And what a delivery that is. And Moba does the rest. Kalim Sada gets one to leap through the surface. Close to unplayable, you'd have to say, this one. They do have 2 in the power play.
The second wicket of Nepal hitting the deck hard, just gets a little bit of extra bounce. And taking a little bit of the...
And what's this come off? Well, it's been given. I think Said was trying to indicate it might have come off the pad. It is the 3rd wicket in the power play. Hayliger wheels away in celebration.
We take another look at the wicket. jagged in sharply, and it looks like it just might have
Get behind the captain chanting his name. And that's going to please them. Row it, were the cheers as the bowler approached the crease. And he delivers for them. Fans are loving every single run. Whatever happens. Edel wants the single, massive mix-up. And, oh, this is going to be a calamity. I'm not even sure who's going to be run out. I don't think Arif Sheikh has ever left his crease.
Putting out there. It's really a gentle push down the ground. And it was Rohit Podol's call. He was the one running to the danger end. He was the one facing the ball. Arif Sheikh was planted to his ground. A wayward throw. In fact, almost took out Akhil Kumar with that throw. They just held it all together in the end, Canada. They've picked up the 4th wicket, and it's the skipper who's back in the hut. This is shocking scenes for Nepal. And you just can't afford runouts, not at a stage.
There was somebody there backing up to toss it up to the keeper. They whipped the bails off, and in, well, rather tragic circumstances, Rohit Podol
just missing the outside edge.
Swept towards the man, a deep backward square, who takes the catch. It was well struck. It was swept in the air, and it's a wicket on ODI debut for Parveen Kumar. Nepal in real danger of being bowled out very early here. They're in all sorts of trouble. Nicely driven, over pitch by Akhil Kumar. You can hear the fans are desperate to have something to cheer. Maybe Gulshan Jha is going to be the one to get them, particularly rely upon Gulshan Jha to fight till the very end. Arif Sheikh's not going to give it away. Edge and put down. He went quite slowly, didn't he? I think it's Aaron Johnson there at first slip over. Get one more look at his drop chance here. It was a lovely delivery. Just a little bit late in going, was he? Actually only got one hand to it.
Be interesting to see how far in the middle this ball might have gone to.
Monty Desai doesn't look best pleased. He's a man who's done a huge amount, hasn't he, in the 18 months or so that he's been in a row. A spongy tennis ball bouncer getting. Gulshan Jha is going to send them into raptures. Hits it right into the crowd. All the way for 6. That's the biggest cheer of the day.
Well, height not an issue for Gulshan Jha, as he has absolutely smashed Parveen Kumar. Puts the bowler in 2 minds as well.
That's going to be number 6. Arif Sheikh hadn't been able to survive. He looked completely ill at ease, and it's an outside edge. It's just prodded away from his body.
Lost their 6th wicket. Khaldim Sana, he has been unplayable. Guided to the source for 10 off 33.
Nicely driven. Going to be 4. It's the infield and races away down to the shortest boundary. Only about 57, 58 metres down there. Over pitch by Hayliger. Gulshan Jha looks like the lone warrior here for Nepal.
Wait.
Now, this is ramped away, and it's ramped all the way. Bit of an uppercut. It's going to go for 6. Just for a moment, deep third will have been interested.
Who would you rank your most favourite?
Edged and gone. Really good catch. It's gone quickly to Navneet Dhaliwal, who gets his hands up sharply above his head to hold on to a critical wicket. Harsh Thakur brought back into the attack.
Especially when he's got the bat in his hand.
There is that slog sweep. Gets it very nicely, and it's well placed over the head of mid-wicket, who's in the circle. And it's going to be 4.
Total against his Canadian side.
Sandeep Lamachani is going to have a bit of a heave, and heave one all the way for 6. It's going to bring the 100 up. Lamachani drives elegantly. Again, clears that front foot, but it's very effective. 4 more to him. Nepal fans finally getting something to cheer and enjoy. Kami sweeps really nicely, right on top of the bounce, and is going to pick up. Swept away. And good control of that sweep. Going to get 4. All of a sudden, Nepal just coming alive in this contest. Now, this is going to be very close, and this time it's gone. It was a bit of a nothing shot, wasn't it? I think he was initially thinking to sweep. So Cammy trapped LBW.
Oh, this, at first glance, looks like maybe legs enough. But that's going to be the end of Sampal Kami. A decent knock.
Nicely cut. Finding the gap. There's not much of a gap between one of three men behind backward square. Lamachani hit down the ground, and he's going to be hit all the way for 6. One of Karen KC's favourite zones. Tossed up by Saad bin Safar.
For Nepal.
Chipped in the air and just going to be out of reach of Saad bin Safar. Pick up a single, but unfortunate. Cut away, and it was at a catchable height, but it's gone to the left of the backward point fielder. The runs continue to come. And Nepal's fans are really finding their voice now. Driven away very pleasingly by KC, and he's going to get, he might have 4 here. Nepal's fans are absolutely convinced that this has touched the rope from the umpire. It is given as 4, and I think chipped, and Lamachani is going to be caught shy of 50. A big celebration from Kumar too.
In his crease for quite some time, and he is frustrated.
Rely upon their bowlers. Karen KC doesn't get this, and he's going to be caught at long on. It was a low full toss. The last man to fall. Just an inside edge, wasn't it, that he dragged along on. Nepal 181 all out.
Oh, they do pick up the final wicket here in Canada, and it's the big man.
A slap of the inner thigh from the big fast bowler. He continues his inspired wicket-taking form, and it's going to fall.
Sampal Kami, a handy 21, and unfortunate for Sandeep Lamachani to be out on 49, but important runs coming towards the end of that batting line.
A little bit too good and too hot to handle for Nepal. 2 wickets again for Dylan Haylegger, who stretches his lead at the top of the wicket-taking table. To defend this total, they only have 181 on the board. It's 40, 50, who knows, maybe 60 under par. But
winning the toss and choosing to have a bat first in these tricky conditions. They really struggled early on in Nepalese colours. So unfortunate today to not bring up that half century, but those 49 runs that he added to the total are extremely important. Well, that's just kicked off of length. Surprised everyone, batter, keeper alike. Raj Banshi hitting a length and it's just really taken off. With some shape there, just taking it away from the batter. Navneet Dhaliwal does well. He gets a little bit of bat on that. And it's going to run away for 4 runs.
Here in the power play. Chipped in the air. That's going to be number 1. Right on cue. And Gulshan Jad is who takes an excellent catch. Top at the top. You just sensed it was coming, didn't you? Karen KC strikes. And they're dancing up in the bleachers.
To give, and unfortunately it is his undoing. Chipped into the leg side, just going straight into the hands.
Now deep thirds in place, but it's gone well fine of him. I think this has gone for 6. Good hook shot. He struck that very well, hasn't he? And they're waiting for Raman Surakoti, who's out there. Edged and edge wide. Wonderful piece of fielding from Kushal Patel in place. It was only the one floating slip and then the gully, and it was well wide. And in between the two of them, gets us to the end of a dramatic over. Again, it was at a catchable height, but just out of the reach of Bim Sharkey, who was hovering there at backward point.
All's well that ends well in the end.
Driven down the ground. That should be 4. Beats Karen Casey 2 full from Gulshan Jia. And he'll come on here in the second power play with protection available for extra cover. Now he starts with one that's just skidded on. Probably going to miss the leg stump, it looks like.
Pargat Singh, as we take a look at this, and yeah, comfortably missing that leg stump.
It's a lovely cover drive. Well wide of mid-off. The captain row. Paolo can only watch it go by. And again, it's overpitched. It's the only area out because Jazz been a little bit errant.
Oh, and he's been put down. That's a chance that's gone down.
Just wonder again, could there be a taller man in there? Would Anil Shah be better placed if it's probed away? It's a full one. Oh, you have to take that. He's got both hands to it. Juggle. Hits at a catchable height, but wide of cover, and Anil Shah, he usually has the gloves on himself. He misfield. Short ball, and that's given the treatment. Dhaliwal picks up the length beautifully and smashes it all the way for 6.
It's Kalim Sana who is doing the cleanup outside the boundary.
Now an appeal. I think there's bats involved, and Arnold Medella is unmoved and says, "Calm, everyone calm, not out is my decision."
Arnold Medella says not out.
Yeah, inside edge. Really good decision, the fielding position. That's not the line you want to bowl. Pumped away immediately for 4. Dragged down by Pargat Singh in immediate pressure onto Arif Sheikh. Edged and dropped. And it's another one gone down. And it's Arif Sheikh again.
But the ball seems to be following him. This one edged, just going away. Inside out.
That's an even better shot. 4 and now 6. He loves going inside out, and Pargat Singh may well beat Dhaliwal to the 50 marker. It's going to be 50 for Navneet Dhaliwal. He's come from 76 deliveries. He's been around a long time as the 35-year-old, but it's just his second ODI 50 in his 10th innings. He's played nicely, and he lifts the bat to acknowledge the applause of the home crowd. Amazing things still happening, even as late as the 24th, 25th. This is going to hurt. Might have been the elbow, something like that. Pargat Singh takes a blow.
I think it's gone right into the gut of Pargat Singh as he says he's okay. Just nipping back in. There is a bit of pace from Sampal Kami.
That will be the landmark. 50 brought up with real conviction. A cut shot. Yes, it's in the air, but it's 4 more to the total. And Canada cruising home thanks to 50s from these 2 right-handers. For Pargat Singh, it's already the 6th 50-plus score in his ODI career. In just his 17th innings, he's now averaging over 40. And it's been another fine knock from the right-hander. That's an effortless stroke just to skip down the track, and pressure built up. Had to release it, and he releases it with a boundary 4. And a wicket from nowhere. Gulshan Jia has got some reward, and it's the man I thought it should have been at Gully in the first place. Anil Shah will take the catch. Singh is dismissed for 64. It'll probably be too little too late. A young Hemant Dami have been here maybe. As Dhaliwal says, enough is enough. Time to get this ended in a hurry. Skip down the track, good footwork, and the first maximum off Raj Banshi. Singh get curtain to the crease. This one's hooked away for 4. Monty Desai is out having a jog on the road side of the ground, and he might even try to get it done a little quicker than that, as Dhaliwal uses his feet beautifully, doesn't he? And again, Very difficult to get an LBW from here. Dhaliwal takes on Rajbanshi. Might just be thinking of three figures here, because there's still just time. Clever bowling. Rajbanshi strikes back to get him to what would have been a maiden ODI century, but instead he'll have to fall for the unlucky Australian number of 87. It's Lamachani strikes. Thought it might be an opportunity for a wicket to his name. Thacker was tempted to try and smash it down the ground, and he's been cleaned up by Sandeep Lamachani. Yeah, definitely the googly. And this has gone a long way up. Can Powdle get back to take the catch? He's put it down. And that rather sums up Nepal's day.
As if tomorrow we're in fall.
He's hit towards long off and taken. Actually very well struck by Akhil Kumar and Cat as they've managed to conspire to lose a fifth wicket.
And it's Sandeep Lamachani. He's picked up the second wicket. It's
but taken a little bit of late success as Curtin gets a boundary away. Going to try and win it in grand style, and what a way to win it. A six that's going to travel down the main road. Bang bang from Curtin to seal the deal, and handshakes all around Canada. Well, they have hammered Nepal here by 5 wickets. It's been a thoroughly dominant for Nepal. Plenty more questions to answer for them. They'll have to go back to the drawing board and try and bounce back in 2 days' time.
They will need to go back and reassess their strategies.
Canada have won by 5 wickets. Don't go near it too far. We'll have the post-match presentation, where we'll hear from both captains. And we'll crown a player of the match, probably between Kalim Sana and Navneet Dhaliwal for that.
DHI Home Appliances presents Nepal Ku Vishwa Cup Yatra, powered by Panchakanya Steel and Asian Paints Smart Care Dam Proof. DHI Home Appliances presents Nepal Ku Vishwa Cup Yatra, powered by Panchakanya Steel and Asian Paints Smart Care Dam Proof.
Wishing you all a happier home.
DHI Happier Home. छुट्टै छ है।
फार्मको शक्ति र गुणले भरिएको प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको आकारमा समानता अनि तौलमा एकरूपता रहेको गुणस्तरमा उत्कृष्ट हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल।
मैले सब मापदण्ड पुरा गरी गजबको घर बनाएँ, तर एकदम पछि मात्र थाहा पाएँ मैले त आफ्नो घर इन्कम्प्लिट पनि छाडेछु। तर मसँग अब एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम प्रुफ छ, जसले मेरा यी सब समस्या समाधान गरी मेरो इन्कम्प्लिट घरलाई कम्प्लिट गर्छ। त्यसैले चिल्लो प्लास्टर मात्र गरेको बाहिरी भित्तामा एसियन पेन्ट्स ड्याम प्रुफ लगाइहाल्नुहोस्।
Let me treat you with something special.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला, तर ई-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ। Starting from just ₹760 a year, get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-sewa app and secure your future today.
के बर्खानी हो
आउँदै गर्नुहोस्
न क्यास बोक्नुपर्ने न एटिएममा लाइन लाग्नुपर्ने फोन भए पुग्छ फोन पे त मेरो लागि लाइफस्टाइल भइसकेको छ
ट्याक्सी दाइ फोन पे चल्छ है
चलिहाल्छ नि बस्नुहोस्
अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो थ्याङ्क यू दाइ
बिजुलीको बिल तिर्यो
तिरो त हेर्नुहोस् न आफ्नो त बिर्सेन नि झन् यो बिल थिएन भनेपछि त यादै हुँदैन तर सम्झिनु बित्तिकै फोन पे गरिदिइहाल्छु फोन पे मेरो लागि भरपर्दो साथी साँच्ची तिमीले फ्लाइटको टिकट बुक गर्यौ
मैले हिजै बुक गरिसकेँ
फोन पे त मेरो लागि समयको बचत
मेरो लागि विश्वास हो स्वतन्त्रता हो
मेरो लागि आवश्यकता हो
मेरो लागि संस्था हो
मेरो लागि दिनचर्या हो
मेरो लागि सरलता हो 2 करोड ग्राहकका लागि र 13 लाख व्यवसायीहरूका लागि फोन पे उनीहरूको आफ्नै हो फोन पे हरेकको लागि फोन पे मेरै लागि हो
घर झिकेर घरै हामीदिनु गएको ई सेवा मनी ट्रान्सफरबाट ई सेवा वालेटमा पैसा